You want to know what happened when Caitlin Clark returned to Team USA camp after months of injury recovery? Angel Reese quit. Not just benched, not just frustrated. She actually left the camp after Clark dominated every single drill they ran together. Sue Bird and coach Kara Lawson watched as Clark orchestrated fast breaks with Boston, hit logo threes, and controlled the pace like she never missed a beat. Meanwhile, Reese struggled to find her rhythm in a system that suddenly revolved around Clark's playmaking. Do you think Reese deserves to be in Team USA? Let us know down in the comments below and make sure to show your support for Caitlin.
Who should not make this Team USA team? Caitlin Clark destroys in day 2 of Team USA camp, looking like the best player in the world as usual.
Here's what nobody expected when Clark walked back onto that court after months away from the game. She hadn't touched a basketball competitively since mid-July, when that groin injury hit her hard. Then came the quad strain, then the ankle bone bruise. One injury after another kept her sidelined for most of her sophomore season, limiting her to just 13 games after that record-breaking rookie year where she shattered 62 different records. Everyone wondered if she'd lost that special edge during all those months of recovery. Coaches and teammates held their breath as she took her first shots and ran her first plays. You could feel the tension in the gym. Would she still have that same explosiveness? Would the injuries slow her down? Would months away from competitive basketball show up in her game? Sue Bird watched from the sidelines with her arms crossed, studying every movement. Coach Kara Lawson kept her eyes glued to Clark during warm-ups, looking for any signs that the layoff had affected her rhythm.
Just really thankful for, the training staff and player development and everybody that has kind of been there with me. They haven't taken a break either because they invest a lot of time and they want me to be successful. So I think for myself, it's not proving it to yourself again, but it's just that feeling. And I think it just made me smile quite a bit. I really did kind of feel like myself out there and just continuing to get my lungs back. But I felt like I was moving really well. So it was pretty satisfying.
Clark immediately started hitting logo threes like she never left the court. That signature step-back jumper looked crisp and confident from the very first drill. The ball came off her hands with the same smooth release that made her famous during that historic rookie season. She pulled up from 30 feet out and swished 3 straight shots without even breaking a sweat. Players stopped their own drills to watch her work. The sound of the net barely moved as shot after shot found its mark. Her court vision remained razor-sharp as she threaded passes through tight windows that other guards couldn't even see. Clark spotted openings that developed 2 seconds before they actually happened. She fired laser passes through triple teams that somehow found their target every single time. During one fast break drill, she whipped a no-look pass behind her back that hit her teammate perfectly in stride for an easy layup. The coaching staff exchanged glances because they knew they were watching something special unfold.
Being hurt is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't really understand it until you go through it. And then I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one injury and then it was a little better and then it kind of continued to compound and get worse and, other things pop up. And then I had the ankle injury. So it feels nice to finally be back to 100%. And
the pace she brought to every drill was electric, pushing teammates to match her intensity and speed. Clark turned simple passing exercises into high-energy competitions. She moved from station to station with purpose, demanding excellence from everyone around her. Her energy became contagious as other players started moving faster, cutting harder, and competing at a level they hadn't reached all week. The entire tempo of practice shifted when Clark stepped onto the court. Sue Bird watched from the sidelines and couldn't hide her amazement at how quickly Clark found her rhythm. Bird later said, "She looked great. The rhythm looks great." Bird had seen plenty of players struggle to return from extended layoffs, but Clark made it look effortless. Here's a player that didn't get to play this summer. So for this to be the first day back, she looked great, Bird explained to reporters after practice ended.
One of the things that stands out to me in looking at this, it's not just that she's back on the basketball court and it's a relief, but her speed seems to be back. We saw it on that step back 3 on the first day of practice, but there was a play in the day 2, and this play for a number of reasons is very exciting to watch. But number one, let's start with the speed. You see Caitlin Clark gets the dribble handoff from Aaliyah Boston. It's the way she turns the corner and how quickly she gets down. that stands out to me here. Look, coming downhill, great pass, right, to Jackie Young down there. So dribble handoff, skirt, and just moving quick with intent, gets it to Jackie Young, who misses the layup, but fights.
Coach Kara Lawson was equally impressed with what she witnessed. Lawson stated that Clark looked good on both ends and hadn't missed a beat. She called Clark a terrific player who was really locked in and focused during every moment of practice. The praise from both Bird and Lawson carried extra weight because they weren't known for handing out compliments lightly. Within hours, it became clear that Clark wasn't just back to her old form. She was operating at an even higher level than before the injuries hit. Her decision-making looked sharper. Her leadership presence felt stronger. The confidence in her voice when calling plays carried a new authority that teammates immediately responded to. Every possession she controlled seemed to flow with perfect timing and execution.
And just seeing her back out on the floor at all is a big deal. And probably people holding their breath a little bit too, but just all of her movements look good. That's the most important thing. But that speed burst, that ability to get up the court quickly has stood out, because I do think that was something she never quite got all the way there in year two, just because of the myriad of injuries, because she started in the preseason with the quad injury. And that's another differentiator for her, is how quickly she can move with the basketball.
Clark's immediate dominance proved she was ready to lead Team USA into a new era. The months of rehabilitation hadn't weakened her game. They had refined it. She came back hungrier, smarter, and more determined than ever to prove that her rookie success wasn't a fluke. The 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics suddenly looked a lot more promising with Clark healthy and ready to take over. But her individual brilliance was only the beginning of what would unfold at camp. Angel Reese's reaction to being outplayed revealed something about her character that shocked the entire camp. As Clark continued dominating every aspect of practice, Reese's role kept shrinking and her minutes kept disappearing. The coaching staff started running more drills around Clark's pace and style. Reese found herself on the sidelines watching instead of leading like she expected. Her usual post-up opportunities dried up as the team focused on faster ball movement and three-point shooting.
Angel Reese can be an asset and a value, rebounding, being tenacious on this team, and being just a role player, which is what she should be. She's not a star go-to player. Rebound, and that's it. That's all. Rebound and play defense. That's all you got to do. That should be your role, but your team in the WNBA sucks so bad that you're trying to do more, and that's just not you.
Instead of adapting her game or working harder, Reese started showing visible frustration during team meetings and drills. She rolled her eyes when coaches explained new plays that featured Clark as the primary option. During water breaks, she complained to teammates about not getting enough touches in the paint. Her effort level dropped noticeably when she wasn't the focal point of offensive sets. Other players started noticing her negative energy spreading through practice sessions. She struggled to keep up with the pace that Clark set. Her post-up game looked slow and outdated in the new system. While Clark pushed fast breaks at lightning speed, Reese needed extra time to establish position down low. The contrast became obvious during transition drills where Clark's team scored quickly, while Reese's group relied on half-court sets. Her footwork couldn't match the tempo that Clark brought to every possession. The gap between their styles became impossible to ignore. Teammates noticed her body language change as she realized Clark was taking over the leadership role she expected to have. Reese stopped talking during huddles when Clark started calling out defensive assignments. She slouched on the bench when coaches praised Clark's decision-making. Her usual vocal presence disappeared as Clark's voice became the one everyone listened to. Players who used to look to Reese for direction started following Clark's lead instead.
The GOAT is back. Look at the rain. Man, she's back, bruh. She's back.
Oh, watch it. Pick up, pick up!
Yeah, man. CC back, bro.
The tension reached its peak during competitive scrimmages. Clark's team ran precise offensive sets while Reese's group struggled to find rhythm. Every possession showed the difference between Clark's basketball IQ and Reese's limited offensive repertoire. Clark created easy shots for teammates while Reese demanded post feeds that slowed down the entire offense. The coaches took notes as Clark's leadership style brought out the best in her teammates. The breaking point came during a scrimmage, where Clark's team outscored Reese's group by 20 points in just 15 minutes. Clark hit 4 three-pointers in the first 5 minutes, while Reese managed only 2 field goals. Clark's passes created wide-open looks for her teammates, while Reese's post-ups resulted in contested shots and turnovers. The final score wasn't close enough to call it competitive. Coaches stopped the scrimmage early because the gap kept widening. Reese's tantrum after that scrimmage included complaints about playing time and system fit that coaches found unprofessional. She argued that the offensive system didn't showcase her strengths in the paint. She questioned why Clark got to run so many plays as the primary option. Her voice got louder as she demanded more post touches and slower offensive sets. The coaching staff exchanged concerned looks as Reese continued venting her frustrations publicly.
And then this is gonna surprise some people, but I think she has versatility. She can score, she can play defense, she has size. I have De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4. I got De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4, and I got Indiana Fever's own Caitlin Clark's running mate, Aaliyah Boston, starting at the 5. That's my starting 5. That's my starting 5. Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, De'Erica Hamby, and Aaliyah Boston. That's who I have in the starting lineup.
Her complaints extended beyond basketball strategy into personal grievances about respect and recognition. She felt overlooked despite her college success and WNBA accomplishments. She expected automatic inclusion on the roster based on her previous achievements. The idea that she needed to earn her spot through camp performance frustrated her beyond reason. She couldn't accept that past success didn't guarantee future opportunities. Her decision to quit camp came after she realized the roster spots were being earned through performance, not reputation. The coaches made it clear that no player had guaranteed positions on the final team. Everyone needed to prove they belonged through practice performance and scrimmage results. Reese couldn't handle competing for a spot she felt she already deserved. She announced her departure before the final evaluation period even began. Reese's exit proved that Team USA was serious about building around players who could handle pressure and competition. The program wanted athletes who elevated their game when challenged, not players who crumbled under competitive pressure. Her inability to adapt showed exactly why she didn't fit the team's championship culture. Clark's mature response to the drama showed exactly why she was ready to lead the team to gold.
That speed is back. That burst is back. And therefore, Caitlin Clark, I would call her number 22, but in this case, number 17 is back. Just the way she gets up the floor, control of the ball, control of the step back, pure, all that. She said she had to get her conditioning back. Sue Bird said that was one thing it would take her a little bit of time to work towards.
What happened next between Clark and Aaliyah Boston exposed a major problem with how Angel Reese fits into modern basketball. Clark and Boston had developed chemistry during their Fever days, but nobody knew how it would translate to Team USA's system. The coaching staff needed to see if this duo could elevate the entire team or if it was just regular season chemistry that wouldn't work at the international level. The first scrimmage answered that question immediately. Clark's passes found Boston in perfect position for easy finishes every single time. Boston cut to the basket and Clark hit her with pinpoint accuracy. Boston rolled to the rim and Clark threaded the pass through 3 defenders. Their timing looked automatic. Their communication was silent but perfect. Every possession they ran together flowed like they had practiced it 1,000 times before.
This is what made Caitlin Clark so special, all right? And this is what put pressure on defenses when she's out there, even if her shot isn't falling. All right, watch this. She gets the rebound. She's pushing the floor. Look at this tempo. Look at this tempo, fam. Pushing the floor. Absolutely rushing the defense. And then this is what happens when you do things like this. Look, watch this. Look, now you got a wide open AB over here in the corner. I know it might be hard to see, but a wide open AB. All because she grabbed that rebound and pushed the tempo.
Their fast break connection looked unstoppable during scrimmages. Clark would grab a defensive rebound and immediately spot Boston sprinting down court. The pass would arrive exactly when Boston needed it. No hesitation, no adjustment required. Boston would catch it in stride and finish at the rim before the defense could recover. They turned defensive stops into easy points in less than 5 seconds. The coaching staff kept track of their fast break efficiency, and the numbers were ridiculous. Boston's ability to stretch the floor gave Clark more space to operate than she ever had with the Fever. Boston stepped out to the three-point line, and defenders had to respect her range. That created driving lanes for Clark that simply didn't exist before. Clark attacked those gaps with confidence. She drove hard to the basket, knowing Boston would either be open for a pass or ready for an offensive rebound. The spacing was perfect. Clark's playmaking made Boston look like an all-star center who belonged in every conversation about elite players. Boston's screens freed up Clark for open shots. Clark's passes put Boston in positions where she couldn't miss. Boston started hitting shots from spots on the floor she rarely attempted during the regular season. Her confidence grew with every possession they shared. She played bigger, stronger, and smarter when Clark was running the offense.
Caitlin knows when to do this, when not to do this. That's what makes her special. Now, there are other guards that can recognize when to push the floor and when not to, but I'm just pointing out what's special about Caitlin, along with those 3 balls that she can knock down. When her shot isn't falling, this is what makes her a weapon. Although her shot isn't falling, people still respect her to the level where they're like, hey, she can get hot, man. We're not gonna just allow her to be open just because she missed 1, 2, 3 shots. We're not gonna allow that, man. Stay on her. That gravity that she holds, man, it opens up the defense like this.
Every possession they shared together showcased a level of basketball IQ that left other players struggling to keep up. They read defenses instantly and adjusted their actions accordingly. Clark would call out plays, and Boston would know exactly where to go before the words left Clark's mouth. Their understanding of spacing, timing, and angles was advanced beyond their years. Other teammates started studying how they communicated to try to replicate that chemistry. Reese found herself completely out of sync when sharing the court with this dynamic partnership. She couldn't find her spots in the paint because Boston and Clark controlled the tempo too quickly. Their pace left Reese behind on every transition. She needed time to establish post position, but Clark's offense moved too fast for that luxury. Reese looked lost, trying to figure out where she fit in their system. The contrast became obvious during team drills where Clark and Boston dominated, while Reese looked confused about her role. Clark would call a play and Boston would execute it perfectly. Reese would stand in the corner not knowing whether to cut or stay put. The coaching staff noticed how smoothly Clark-Boston operated compared to the hesitation Reese showed. Every drill highlighted the difference between players who understood modern pace and players who still played an outdated style.
I guess you can't rule anything completely out. Can't rule anything completely out like that team up right there. But I expect to see them really playing well off of each other in Team USA and in a Team USA uniform over the next several years, and the next couple of versions of that team. Just because Jackie Young knows how to do almost everything out on the court, and she would just thrive, I think, and she will thrive playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
The partnership proved that Team USA's future would be built around pace and chemistry, not individual post moves. Clark and Boston showed what elite basketball looked like when 2 smart players complemented each other's strengths. They created easy shots for teammates while making difficult plays look routine. Their basketball IQ elevated everyone around them. Meanwhile, Reese's frustration started showing in ways that caught everyone's attention. Clark's dominance at Team USA camp proved she's ready to lead a new generation of players to Olympic gold in 2028. Her shooting looked automatic from every spot on the floor. Her passing created opportunities that other guards couldn't even imagine. Her leadership brought out the best in every teammate around her. Her combination of skill, leadership, and team-first mentality sets the standard for what USA basketball needs going forward. Clark makes everyone better just by being on the court. She elevates role players into stars and transforms good teams into championship contenders. The 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics just became must-watch events with Clark healthy and ready to dominate international competition. Do you think Reese deserves to be in Team USA? Let us know down in the comments below and make sure to show your support for Caitlin. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next one.